Hello, it is Friday night and the start of this 48-hour readathon for realmathon. We are just back from our trip that we took in the last video. So if you want to see a cool and fun snowboarding ski trip, I will put my previous video down in the description. But for now, so we just got back and load of laundry's in the dryer. We are going to get food right now. I'm not starting exactly at 7 o'clock. I just can't read right now. Sorry, I gotta go get food. But when we get back, I will show you what I'm up to. Dinner has been acquired. Okay, we're back home and have eaten dinner. I'm settling down to read. I am quite candidly exhausted. I did decide to just start a physical book. So this is The Trees Grew Because I Bled There by Eric LaRocca. And I've heard great things about this author before. This will be my first time reading any of his stuff. Before we went out the door, I did read the first story and I've gotten myself a little bit into the second one and am coming across something that I didn't know was triggering and I really don't want to read it. So I might set this down for now. I know that sounds like a little bit impulsive, but I'm 45 pages into this collection and I'm already feeling I'm just not in the headspace to be able to handle this right now. I have two other very short things that I got from the library that I will show you. The Return of the Sorceress by Silvia Moreno Garcia, which is a novella by her that I did not know existed until doing research into short books for this readathon specifically. She published this in 2021. Silvia Moreno Garcia is one of my favorite authors. I've given 3 books of hers 5 stars and would totally be up for trying this. Know very little about it, but it's short, under 100 pages. And then lastly, I got, we had to remove this post by Hannah Bervoets, and this one is intriguing to me because of the synopsis where it's a horror book about a person whose job it is to do content moderation online and deem whether or not material is offensive enough to be taken down. So their job is literally scouring the internet for the worst of the worst. This has an abysmal rating on Goodreads, which frankly intrigues me. I think that this could be the book that is the lowest I've ever read. If I do read this, it's a 2.95, 2.92 or something like that. So I do feel very intrigued by that. And I also had 2 audiobooks on my mind for this weekend that are quite short. So Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan is quite a short novel, and then Thornhenge by T. Kingfisher is another short fantasy novella. I've read from T. Kingfisher before, but I've never read from Claire Keegan. However, Claire Keegan is Irish, and I'd like to read more Irish authors this year. So I'm a little bit back and forth about what I want to do right now. It's 9 o'clock and I am very tired. Part of me wants to pick up a book and actually try and get into it, and the other part of me just wants to start one of the audiobooks and go lie down. I will likely just see you tomorrow and let you know what I ended up deciding. Hi, it's the next morning. It's Saturday morning and I wanted to let you know I started 3 books last night. So I had told you that I had started The Trees Grew Because I Bled There by Eric LaRocca, and I moved on to 2 other books. So I started The Return of the Sorceress by Silvia Moreno Garcia, and I like this one. I think I'm going to continue with this one. And then when I was getting tired, my eyes were getting really tired, I started an audiobook. I started Thornhenge by T. Kingfisher. So I think I'm going to continue with those 2, Thornhenge and The Return of the Sorceress. I am about to sit down to read. I'll probably do some physical reading. I think I might want to sit outside because it seems like a really nice day and the sun is out, so I'm going to do that. And I'll let you know my progress. If I could finish 2 books this weekend, that would be ideal. I fear I am not in the mood to read at all. Just because I'm not reading doesn't mean it's not still a readathon. Okay, I finally got in the mood to read a little earlier and I've officially finished my first book. It's kind of late on Saturday night, but that's okay. I've had a very restful day. I've just been exhausted, just been wrecked. And I finally finished a book. So I read Thornhedge by T. Kingfisher, and holy smokes, it was fantastic. The perfect fantasy novella. It wasn't necessarily cozy, like it had some pretty dark and very serious themes, but it had this beautiful theme of like belonging and finding. This character is like trying to find where she belongs. Her purpose is so clear, and she is guarding this, basically this myth that she has really hoped has died over the years, like thousands of years she's been alive. But one day a knight approaches her hiding place where she's trying to keep this secret hidden, and basically starts looking around and asking questions. Surprisingly endearing for the serious tones that this takes, but I adored it. I actually think I'm about to give this 5 stars. I'm gonna give it a little bit more thought because it could be an impulse thing, but like, oh my gosh, my initial thought is there's nothing I would change about that book. So I started Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan, the audiobook, and I also think I'm going to actually read a little bit more of The Return of the Sorceress. So I'm about halfway through that novella. I feel like I am ready to actually focus on physically reading now. I'll probably pick up The Return of the Sorceress. Okay, it is Sunday. I obviously have my St. Patrick's Day earrings in because tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day, but we've just got back from church and I wanted to let you know that last night I picked up another book. I started reading A Study in Black Brew, which is this like fantasy sci-fi take on Watson and Sherlock Holmes. This is my first ever like arc, basically, so the book is not yet out. The author messaged me on Instagram after they saw that I really enjoy the Warlock Holmes series, and they were like, well, this is kind of comparable, so they asked if they could send it to me, and I said yes. So that was a few weeks ago, and I'm excited to read this. It is a novella. It's around 140 pages, and I got a little bit of the way through it last night. I am really enjoying this. This is so fun. I just love Sherlock Holmes retellings. I haven't read one in a hot second, and the backdrop of this sci-fi set, like basically civilizations and settlements that have happened, is just very unique and fun. We are in the POV of our Watson type character, and they've just moved in next to this neighbor who is, you know, the Sherlock Holmes type character. Very excited to continue reading this. Today we do have some plans in the evening. We have a baby shower to go to. It's around 1 o'clock right now, and we're about to eat some lunch, and then I will settle in to do some reading. I definitely know for a fact I'm going to finish Small Things Like These before the end of the 48-hour readathon. I got a good amount of the way through that last night and am absolutely loving it. It's a little disturbing. It is very Irish, and just like some of the small little things that they're eating and like the way they're talking is just very dear to my heart. I love it. And surprisingly, I like our main character, even though he's a middle-aged man. Like, that's not necessarily the demographic that I really connect with, but I'm really enjoying hearing his thoughts about fatherhood and about like the changing that his culture and society is going through. He stumbles upon this seemingly strange, not quite yet nefarious, but on its way there, this setup that is in his town, and kind of leave it at that. Really enjoying that too. So if I get to finish both books, that would be amazing, but I'm definitely more focused on finishing Small Things Like These. We'll see how the afternoon of reading goes. I'll obviously take you along with me. Okay, I have finished Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan, and it was a punchy novella. It packed a punch. I definitely do feel that, so I've been reading a lot of short stories this weekend, and this is the first one that I have really like left and been like, wow, I really wish there was more pages. I think it is a testament to her writing, and then also how fascinating I find the actual like plot of the book. Yeah, I just like I needed more. Obviously it's a beautiful day. I'm gonna sit outside and read. You can see that I'm holding the trees grew because I bled there. I think I'm gonna try and brave this again. I am indeed a little bit nervous, but I got 50 pages through this 45 pages through this pretty quickly the other night, so I can see this be something that is moving very quickly. I want to keep reading A Study in Black Brew, but it is on my phone, and reading on my phone outside in the bright sun is not the move. So I'm gonna move into this and see how far I can get. Okay, hi, it's a few days later and I'm here to wrap up everything that I read for this 48-hour readathon. Not my best as far as quantity goes, and just reflecting on how tired I was, especially on Saturday. I read and finished 3 books, so you get a 10 extra points for every book that you read. However, I was going for like a lot of short books rather than reading one longer book. First thing I finished was Thorn Hedge by T. Kingfisher. As you guys know, I really loved that book and I am committing to that 5-star. It was absolutely perfect and exactly what I needed. It was such a beautiful little slice of life with like some of those darker themes that me as a horror lover is just, I'm so into it. And then we also had those fantasy and like lore, fate elements that just I really connect with. I really enjoyed that book a lot. I got around 40 points for that book. I got around 30 points for my next book that I finished, which I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I finished The Return of the Sorceress first. I could be wrong. I'm giving this book 3 stars. It is a beautiful like fantasy, but there was nothing really about it that set itself apart as something other than this like small quest conflict fantasy, and it was resolved very quickly, like as you can attest to by seeing it be like an under 100-page novella. But it was a great like 48-hour readathon book, so if you have any readathons coming up and you like short books, I really did enjoy this a lot. It had magic and betrayal and reconciliation, and it was pretty good. But again, I'm only giving this 3 stars just because it wasn't as potent as some of the other reads that I give those higher ratings to. The last book I finished was Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan, and I'm giving this book a 4-star. So we had a 3, 4, and 5-star throughout the course of the readathon, which is pretty good. I believe this book got a little over 30 points for me, and I'm very, very pleased with it. The reason why it's not a 5-star is simply because I wanted it to be a novel. I wanted it to be longer. I was so invested and so connected like to the story. I thought that like Claire Keegan has this like beautiful direction that she could take the story, and she chose to make it a novella, and I just don't understand that choice. But I can't not give it a high rating, because the reason why I'm so upset about that choice is because I was really enjoying it. I think it's something special. Her writing is incredible. I can definitely see why people love this book, and I gave it 4 stars. Lastly, before you go, I am bringing a few books with me into next week. I hope you will subscribe and join me for that next vlog, but you'll see me probably pick up The Trees Grew Because I Bled There. I always struggle with that title, by Eric LaRocca. I made it a little over halfway through this book. I also did not touch base with you again about A Study in Black Brew, which I'm still going to read and continue into next week. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and are enjoying Realmathon. I am very pleased with how everything went, even though I had very low energy. So if you like other bookish content like this, feel free to subscribe. I would love to have you. And other than that, have a great rest of your day. I will see you in the next one. Bye.